sun protection. And I like the idea of having this space that can be completely opened to the outdoors and then closed. Exploring some sitting areas. This one is a very interesting project in the south of Vietnam, and it doesn't have any air conditioning, and the Nha Son project doesn't have any air cons, that the whole ventilation should be natural ventilation. And they used a lot of partitions that could be open and closed. More survey and measuring. Some ideas. Here I wanted to implement that idea with this circular steps where people can sit and gather. For now, the place doesn't have like an official entrance, and I thought it would be nice to add first sitting around the main building, ramps, and this kind of official center, the heart of the space. Some research on playgrounds, because they do have a playground on the master plan. Some sustainable ideas of how to combine together water source and chickens and fish, because they do have chicken and they do have fish at the site. They have 2 ponds and a big space for chicken. And here is an interesting idea. It's again, both of the projects are in Vietnam, and here they create a playground for both chicken and children. And some ideas of how to combine and how to use the traditional architecture that you can see all around Vietnam in the north and in the south, the stilt houses, and creating a sort of a playground based on it. Here's this at the site, so the playground is here. More research on materials and structures. Here they use it's a bamboo playhouse. More research on structures, and I keep measuring. This is a kitchen. Here is the plan for designing and what stages I need to go through when I design. And at this stage I was preparing a questionnaire for the members of the community and guests, and I was researching some ways of making it interesting for them. What questions I can ask and how. More measuring, site survey. Started creating diagrams, what spaces exist, what spaces I need to add to the existing plan. Here I was preparing for the design brief. So pages that I need to include, what, why, for whom, objectives, where, challenges. You're more on the circulation, because right now it's linear, it's just you go straight and then you go back, and I wanted to create more of a circular circulation around the site. Some sketches for the main building, the idea of sitting, adding ramps, the path in the pond area. More research on the natural ventilation and more measuring. This is a sketch that shows how to use shades for protection from the sun, but at the same time they don't block the view completely. More measuring. And more measuring. more measuring. So analyzing advantages and disadvantages of the site. Here's the general existing master plan, and here's the area I'm going to concentrate on, because it's a very big project and I needed to concentrate on something. But I also improved the master plan. And here's the sketch that shows the circulation, the proposed circulation, the circulation in a proposed master plan. More diagrams, more research on natural ventilation, more measuring. At this point I had it all in AutoCAD, but I kept improving it because it's a really big site and some things didn't align, so I had to go back and remeasure. More diagrams. Starting designing the area of my interest, the workshop and the staff accommodation. After interviewing the director of Nyasan, I figured out she really cares a lot about the immediate, closest members of society, the volunteers who actually live at the site. And I decided to concentrate on designing this building for them. Here's the neighbor, and here's the little sketch showing which areas I want to kind of block to protect the privacy of the neighbor as well, and which areas I want to be fully open to the garden and the rest of the community space. So here's the existing situation and some analysis. More diagrams, more research on sustainability. More research on what can be done, because they already have a garden, but how it can be improved. And I wanted to make sure that the building that I'm designing will not disturb the biodiversity, so I made more research on biodiversity. How to design not just for people, but also for animals. More analysis. This sketch shows the air circulation that I wanted to make sure will exist within the building that I propose, and more research on biodiversity, what to plant, what materials to use in construction, actually to improve the quality of life for the birds and bats. Some materials can be dangerous for animals, and I made research what to avoid during the construction. And things like they have 2 water sources, so I wanted to make sure that they will not have a lot of mosquitoes. So. More drawings. And that was a very important point, because it's a building with the community, with people who are already living there, and what ethical considerations I should have. More on sustainability and biodiversity. And at this stage I fully moved to working in AutoCAD and SketchUp and InDesign for the final presentation. So these are mainly existing structures. Some proposed layouts. Some sketches on the new building. And here I moved to SketchUp, and these are just calculations. And then I included more in my presentation InDesign file.